viewers, please join me in welcoming Gina onto your screen.
The world doesn't revolve around you, you know. Were you ever told that as a child? I know I certainly was. I think it was something that was brandished around by my nan and my aunts. Something every time we got a bit big for our boots, every time we didn't do as we were told. Contest chair, fellow Toastmasters. Tonight I want to explore the concept that actually isn't true. The world does revolve around you because you are the centre of your universe. And when I say that, how does that sit with you? Right hands up if you say, yes, I'm right with you, Gina, I agree. Left hands if you like, I don't know if that means any. Excellent. So we have a bit of a mixture in the room. So tonight I want to explore that premise by sharing with you a personal story that happened that made me experience what I call an awakening, a spiritual awakening. Have you ever experienced what you would call a spiritual awakening? Is there anyone else in the room that has had that shift? And what is a spiritual awakening anyway? Well, for me, it was a real shift in how I saw the world. So let me take you back to February 2017. I was not in a good place. My world was imploding around me. I was deeply miserable at work and had been for a while, if I'm honest. I was deeply miserable in my relationship and had been for a while, if I'm honest. Money, that's way gone. We'd made some terrible choices. We were getting evicted from the house, and my dad, who I didn't have the best relationship, was dying. It was not surprisingly then that my health took a bit of a turn for the worse. My multiple sclerosis, that had been a silent partner, had started to make itself known, and you could tell very visibly that there was something wrong. All this was going on around me. I look back at it now and fondly call it my vortex of shouldn't have been happening. But it was. And right in the middle of this shouldn't have been happening was me. And there was also a light at the end of the tunnel. Because when all this shouldn't have been happening, but it was going on, I was at the edge of a depression, really, teetering on the brink. And what does one do when we're at that place? Google, help me, help me. And there was a light. I signed up and spent money that I really didn't have, which didn't go down very well at home, I can tell you, to my very first online course, thanks to a Facebook ad. And this online course turned out to be my guiding light. I didn't really know what it was about, but there was something in it that led me to it, and I followed it. It turned out it was telling me about the law of vibration. It was telling me about quantum physics. That is a whole new thing that I never got taught at school. And what it showed me is that everything in the world is actually energy. Everything that we interpret through our senses, everything that we can see, the ruler, my water bottle, my hand, is all actually energy. And when looked under at a supersonic microscope, we can see little atoms dancing around each other. And what I also learned, that there were things in the universe that were on a frequency and were energy that we couldn't see or feel. For example, what we thought and what we felt. And at that time, I was thinking some pretty dark thoughts, and I was feeling miserable. I was feeling confused, and I was feeling scared. And what I learned was, because those were what I was vibrating out, that's what I was attracting back into my world. This course also told me how I could change that. Very, very simple steps. And I would like to share with you 3 of these steps. So if you find yourself in a dark place, teetering on the edge of a depression, you can change what you're vibrating out. And those 3 steps are appreciation, appreciation, appreciation. Learning to appreciate everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And that is not an easy thing to do. It takes looking in the mirror and be really, really honest with yourself. And if you have ever done that, it is not a comfortable place to be. It has to take some real humbling and honesty, and it's scary. But once you do it and realise that actually I am the centre of my universe and everything is radiating from me and revolving around me, I can change what I attract back in. And that is a very powerful place to be. So here I am, 7 years later. I'm no longer in a job that I'm miserable in. I'm no longer in a relationship that I'm miserable in. I am safe in a house with my children. My father did pass away, but I made peace with that and was able to speak at his funeral. And yes, I still have the symptoms of multiple sclerosis. And if I was standing on a stage in front of you, I'd be needing support from either side. But the way I see the world is such a positive way that I see everything around me, beauty. I smile at the world. And that is a really, really gorgeous place to be. Because the world does revolve around me. Your world revolves around you. I am the centre of my universe. And you, dear Toastmasters, are the centre of yours. So make it count. Contest chair.
Thank you, Gina. Thank you, Gina. I will ask all of us please to put our cameras off while our timekeeper runs 1 minute on the clock and for our judges to